Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone! It's time for another Board Games and Coffee. This time, New Year's resolutions. Are you ready?
I'm ready! 2024 resolutions, here we come!
Yeah, we're totally going to achieve these, right?
Yes!
Alright, that's the attitude. Welcome to WiscoDice! Hey, you folks, I am your host, the Conesy with the Most, and I'm joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
Hey, and today we're going to talk about resolutions, coffee, and board games. You excited?
I am
You ready?
so excited!
Excellent. Awesome. So, what are you drinking today?
Well, today, in honor of it turning 2024, I am drinking a mimosa.
And, of course, I've got my Reba coffee from the Just Coffee Co-op here in Madison, Wisconsin. You can order from them online if you care to drink the same thing I am. But you know what? It would be great if you dropped a note in our comments below and let us know what you're drinking while you're watching this, because we love to hear, and maybe you'll get featured like some of these fine folks that are popping up with their comments on screen right now. So, what should they do while they're down there?
While you are leaving a comment, please
Smash
that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so that we know that you are enjoying this content and we know to continue producing it and bringing it to you as much as we can. And, goes a long way. And I get so excited every time I see another subscriber or like or anything.
Yeah, we do our best to respond to every comment that everyone leaves. Not only respond, we want to have an actual conversation. We'd love to be able to hear your feedback and be able to share your thoughts about your New Year's resolutions in particular this year. So just drop us a comment and let us know what your resolutions are, whether they're gaming or not gaming. Of course, also let us know what you're drinking as well. So with that, we thought it'd be nice to the start of the year to have some resolutions. Of course, we always, every year, have a few New Year's resolutions that we go through and come up with that we want to try to achieve for the year. And like a lot of folks, I don't know if we're always successful with those resolutions, but it's always a positive to look at the year, and it's a fresh start. It's a good way to get things going and get started. It's
a nice way to set goals, to give some focus to our gaming year ahead. So
yeah, absolutely.
I like doing that. The goals may get tweaked a little bit as the year goes on, and I see what's actually obtainable and doable. So,
of course. So, yeah, by mid-year, when the year starts to weigh down on you, and you're like, there's no chance I'm going to make these goals.
Well,
they start to...
It's so easy right now, because we're January. Sorry, not December anymore.
Get a full year to get it done.
And then when we're in Wisconsin, where it's cold, and it snowed the last couple days, and it's icy out. So it's like, well, I have all this time. What am I going to do? I'm stuck inside. But you get to like May, June, and you're like, not going outside anymore. So it's harder to work on them. Anyway, I digress.
All right. So first, we're going to talk about, I think, a couple of goals for the channel and what we hope to bring to our audience, or what we hope to do for our audience in 2024 in regards to the YouTube channel, specifically for WiscoDice. And one of the first things is we're really wanting to focus on the improvement of the quality of our content, both in, I think, a way we approach recording, but also camera angles, equipment, audio quality. Audio quality coming from being an audio podcast is very important to us. And of course, just putting that finishing polish and post-production on the videos as well. All of that does take a lot of time, so hopefully we can, between the two of us, we can find a little bit more time in our schedules to work on those things. As we talk about some of our other goals for the year, we might find some conflicts for our time. So
we might, but we want to make sure we are bringing you the best content we can produce. We want you to enjoy watching it. So
yeah, absolutely. So, and ultimately, that's going to lead into our next, I think, goal. So you want to talk about that?
Well, our next goal is one that is falling off in 2023, but we're going to get it going and finished in 2024, is we are going to have our new recording studio done. Yay!
Yep,
I'm
absolutely.
so excited. We've been planning this for years, even before we had this house.
Yep.
We've been planning this studio.
Yep. So this is a project. It wasn't really necessarily we thought of it as a recording studio, but
No.
I think it was a immersive tabletop gaming room that we had talked about quite a bit. And it just so happens that with the floor plan for this house, it really is its own separate room, and it's going to be really cool. And we're really excited to be able to share that. When we get it finished, we'll actually have a full video that's supporting it of like what we did, our design choices, how it came together, and how we put it together. But it's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully that'll be in that studio and share it with you all. Come sometime this spring-ish is kind of the plan, so knock on wood, we actually hit that one because there'll be a new game table that has to go in that room, so one way or the other, we got to get it done.
And I am super motivated to get it done because it's been this project that's been hanging out there.
Oh, it's been like it's on like year 2 now.
Unfinished projects. Yes.
Yep. So absolutely. So absolutely. That's a big one as far as we're concerned in the regards of getting things done. There's one other thing that I think WiscoDice orientated that's on your list that we probably should mention to everyone.
So, probably like 2-3 years ago, we were doing a board game brunch series, but it was just on our blog. Okay, so we would pair a game and with some sort of food and write about it and play about it, and it was a lot of fun. And I would like to bring that back to YouTube now. So just working on getting a board game brunch going with some games and foods that relate to them in some way. And I think it was a lot of fun. It was great.
It was a lot of production effort to write a blog article, right, and to maintain it on a weekly basis like we were. Yep. So we're still working with like how frequently we're going to want to do it, as well as kind of how like the format of the show and kind of planning that piece out. But bringing back board games and brunch, that was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy trying, and sometimes the food turned out really well, and sometimes it was like disaster. But we shared it either way with the audience, right? Because I think that's an important part of that journey. And I think it's an important thing to showcase that you can do really cool things with food, which is another passion of, I think, both of ours.
Yes, it's a passion. It's just not a skill for me.
Well, you do have more talent than you lead on. But it's gonna be great to bring that back. And if you're interested to check out anything we did on the blog, I'll have a link down in the comments for that'll take you to the category for board game and brunch on our blog, so you can check out some of those articles and get an idea of what might be coming or what we're thinking about for this new series on the YouTube channel. Yeah,
and I definitely will take suggestions of either games or food pairings that you think would work well together, because that is one of the challenges too sometimes, is thinking, outside of the box, I guess would be the phrase to use for it matches up. But anyway,
exactly. So
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really excited too. I mean, I get to show up, play a game, and eat some food. For me, it's great.
Yeah, he doesn't have to clean up the kitchen afterwards always.
Well, sometimes I get roped into that, but I can say I'm busy editing.
Yeah, busy editing. Yeah.
All right, so
what else
I think that's all the stuff for WiscoDice. So let's talk about some of our personal resolutions for the year and where we want to get to. So I'm gonna start things off and say one of the big things for me personally is to attend 12 conventions, tabletop gaming conventions this year, and that's I think a pretty hefty goal. Now the bonus is that there are a lot of smaller conventions here in Wisconsin. Like we attended a number of them, like Strong Tower Gaming Convention last year, Midwinter. So there are a number of smaller little conventions like that. We're going to Con of the North in Minneapolis in February, and right now I'm pretty well on track to hitting that goal. This month I'm going to Cabin Con. You're going to be at Midwinter.
Yeah, but my conventions don't count towards your 12, do they?
Nope.
Okay, just check.
I'm going to be we're both going to be at Con of the North in February. I've got Adepticon in March. April, we're talking about, what was the convention? I can't think of the name of it, that was in Illinois-ish.
Oh my gosh. There's a convention in Illinois.
Well,
it's got a silly name.
It'll be on the screen.
Yes.
It'll be on the screen. And all the links to the conventions that we're attending, that we are currently planned, as well as dates, will be in the description below. Whether it's Suzanne, myself, or any of the other members of the WiscoDice team that we currently have on the planned 2024 roadmap. That's not all 12 of the conventions for me, so there will be new conventions in order for me to hit that 12 convention goal. I will say, like, hopefully a number of these conventions will have the bonus of being able to drive and then come home and sleep in our own bed, we're hoping, so that, you know, they're relatively close. It's nice having Gamehole Con here in Madison, and there's a couple other conventions potentially here in Madison we might check out as well, that are tabletop gaming adjacent or orientated, that would qualify. So we're really hopeful that we can
keep them to weekends a little bit, because unfortunately we both have full-time jobs outside of this, and PTO is precious.
So hopefully, fingers crossed. But the goal is to get 12 of them, and obviously that's a personal goal of mine, but it also serves the WiscoDice channel, because at these we do talk. We try to make sure that we're there to, you know, help teach and share our love for tabletop gaming, and maybe.
Well, cons are very invigorating, just as a board gamer.
Subscribers,
And you, Conesy, really enjoys it. Gets really excited about conventions. Not that I don't, but he really does.
I really love the
you just
sitting down at the table and sharing, and then facilitating somebody else's fun at the table. Even if I'm not playing at that table and I'm just running a game at a convention, I really enjoy that, and I really enjoy. And just, you know, being able to be there if somebody needs a rules call or to you know, understand a mechanic in the game, or maybe they're, you know, hey, what are my options here for my choices? Like, being able to help them, that's awesome. I always love doing that.
Yeah. So one of my goals is similar, but on a much smaller scale than yours in terms of distance and everything else. But I would love to go to and check out a few of the board game meetups that are local here in the Madison area. We run monthly board game night at Misty Mountain Games, where they are nice enough to give us some space once a month, and it has been a blast. And just the diversity of people that come out and join us, and the interesting games that they have and are able to teach, and I just want to go and connect with other gamers in the area and kind of expand my gaming circle a little bit. We have great game nights that we do at our house, but then we got these at this one game store. I want to just, expand a little bit. And just, the different types of games and the different interests people have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great one, and it wasn't one that I thought of, but absolutely, it's something we both talked about a lot this past year, and it was, you know, between health issues and then the fall, when we both finally got healthy enough to be able to really do it, then it was convention season this fall, and we got really busy. And so I would actually absolutely love them. I know there's the groups at like Noble Night and I'm Bored, both local game stores here. Obviously, we were on the Misty one, but
there's some others.
There's
the
Board
Facebook
Games and Beer group that
yeah.
facilitates a couple of different locations of games. So yeah, I would absolutely. We really want to try to get engaged more with that audience, and of course, not only it gives us an opportunity to play more games and meet new people and hopefully find some new board game friends.
Yes. Yeah, what else is on your list there, Conesy?
All right, so my next one, this is toned down from what I would normally historically set for myself as a goal, but considering how I didn't do this much at all last year, I really want to put an emphasis on getting back to doing more of this, and that's painting miniatures. And so I've got 100 miniatures is what my goal is for 2024 to actually paint.
That'll make a small dent in your unassembled figures.
Well, that'll make a small dent in my assembled figures that are primed, but hopefully, that could be board game miniatures, that could be, miniatures for, like, say, Batman or other games, Battletech, that we're playing.
Mansions of
Malifaux.
Madness, so we can play Mansions of Madness.
Actually, I was thinking about that, actually, because I don't have to, hey, I could not have to worry about doing a super high detail and maybe get a few more figures done that way for volume to get to that goal.
And then we can play the game again.
Yeah, I mean, at least I got all the cultists painted now, so there is that. 100 miniatures, that's going to be the goal, and I think that's achievable. I mean, I used to paint 200-300 figures a year, and I have a lot of bulk painting techniques and things like that I know how to speed paint, whatever, if I had to. But I've kind of gotten into this. I really want, with everything I do now, the figures are turning into more and more of a work of art, and which means it takes more time, and then with everything else I've got going on, it's just been really hard to get to the painting table. So that's a goal. It's a thing. We'll see what happens. I'm a little nervous about that one, to be entirely honest.
Oh, I think you can do it.
I mean, there's absolutely I can do it, but
it'll be good.
It's one of those things that really conflicts with improving the quality of the content and control of the channel and going to a dozen cons or more, and some of these other ones. So
it's a relaxing, rejuvenating, almost like a self-care activity for you.
And then there's the model railroad too that I've got. So there's conflicts. I have all these things and not enough time.
So what I'm saying is we really need to somehow win the lottery. So
yeah, I need a reason not to have to work my day job. That's really the case, right? That's the. I don't see that happening though.
No.
All right.
I
so
like my day job.
What else?
So.
What did you got?
Well, so my other one also goes with going to the kind of along lines of going to the meetups. Is that I mean, this is something that goes for several people watching or that I interact with in gaming communities. Is that social anxiety and putting yourself out there, it can be very scary because you don't want to get attacked and then have to suddenly defend yourself for your opinions always when you're asking a simple question. So, but I am going to make more of an effort to interact on social media as myself, not as WiscoDice, but as myself, either on Discord, Facebook groups, Reddit, different things like that. There's groups that I have things that I want to say at times, and I just hold back, and I am going to be brave and put it out there. So
no, and that's absolutely a great thing because, we talk about it a lot on the show when we're talking about liking and subscribing to the channel and interacting, leaving comments, but, we also need to do those things to help the content creators that we enjoy and that we appreciate the work that they're doing, and it matters so much to have that interaction, to be able for them to grow their reach, even if they're a bigger channel. Even channels like the Dice Tower, they need that to continue to grow and do the things that they do. So it's absolutely very important that we as consumers of content do that. So it's I think it's something that as we've done more and more of the YouTube thing, we've become more and more aware of, and I certainly last year did a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm getting more comfortable with it. People, when we're WiscoDice, have been very nice and friendly and complimentary and constructive, and so I really appreciate that. Is that you can have your opinion and we can have ours, but it's not hateful or hurtful.
At the end of the day, that's all this is our opinion, right? So take it for what it is and enjoy. I mean, whether we're not always right. I'm certainly not always right. So, I get reminded of that all the time.
Not by me.
Also, by the way, if you wanted to interact more with us, down in the description below, you'll find links to all of our social media, including our Discord channel, where there's a small community of not only designers, publishers, but also fans of the show that occasionally chatter and post. And the more people that join, the more the conversations will grow and continue to happen there. So
the miniature gaming one can be pretty active at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're interested in starting to paint miniatures,
if I start painting more, and we'll start doing things like probably as we continue to grow. I want to be able to do things like miniature paint nights and stuff like that through the Discord. So it's worth checking out and joining today. So next up for me, will lead into like you say you want to like attend more of these local board game meetups. Mine kind of ties into that, but it's this last year I hit just shy. I was like 2 or 3 plays shy when the final tally was summed up of 500 gameplays of different board games or tabletop games.
So 500 unique games or 500
500 plays.
500 total
Not necessarily.
plays.
Like the unique games was like 140, 150 or something like that.
I just want to make sure.
So my goal this year is to get 400 or more plays in person. Not because that count when I had nearly 500 was counting my online plays as well, which I do tally my online plays on like things like Board Game Arena.
Sure.
Because it is the board game experience. It is the game experience. If you're playing, the tabletop game, it's just not an online medium. Mm-hmm. But my goal is to get 400 plays in, and I think this last year I was something like 250 or 300 plays of that 500. So I had gone quite a ways into it, but the idea is I really want to get more in-person plays. And that's we ended the year really strong, finishing 2 legacy campaigns. But if we're going to do more legacy campaigns, if we're going to get through our Gloomhaven campaign, if we're going to do other things like that, that's going to require more in-person plays, whether it's just the 2 of us or whether it's our local game groups. Or
wait, so I'm getting drugged into your resolution here.
I know you're going to have to suffer, right? I think you won't complain about having to play a few more board games.
Yep, no, I definitely won't. One thing for me that I would like to do is and I've mentioned this before on one of our earlier Board Games and Coffee, I believe, is I want to get our library space fixed up and just it's pretty well organized.
I'm gonna wait till I'm at one of those cons, I think.
Probably. But so we have a lot of neoprene mats, and for some games it is so helpful. We have something coming that I will share if it actually works or not. One
of the viewers of one of our previous Board Games and Coffee, I believe, or one of our other videos dropped us a comment and let us know what they were using.
So it's a vinyl storage where you hang it over this back of the door, and so I'm going to try and get that with some labels on it, and then the top part of the shelves that I cannot reach. I do not like to store games there because I don't want to have to get a step stool to get a heavy box down. I want to kind of make it decorated. It's in our unfinished section of our basement, so it's not the prettiest part of the house. So I just want to make it feel nice and feel kind of like a library. And I have a friend of mine who is all on board with me creating a card catalog type system for it.
Oh Lord, please, no, we don't have that many games.
But wouldn't you like to come over, look at a tablet, scroll through, find the game you want, click on it, and it tells you what row that and what shelving unit that game is in.
There's not that many games. We're not even over. Like we're barely over 750 titles. It's not that many games. We don't need that.
But I'm thinking for the future, I need to start this system now so that it can expand before we are at the 1,000 amount of games. But anyway, that is my ongoing quest and resolution. To do something. It's not to get everything done. It's to do something, to have some part of it organized.
If you'd like to see Suzanne organize our game library and go through the methodology, let us know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see, because there is definitely something to how you put away your board games and organize your game library, whether it's a small collection that fits on a single shelf, or if you're like us and have a couple hundred or more titles in your collection.
Yeah, well, and part of the idea for this I got from, I think there's a Kickstarter out there where it's these like dry erase little removable stickers that they put on the games. They know what shelf they go on. I'm just going to make it digital.
Yeah. All right. Next up, I'm gonna talk about something that's a little more personal, a little less gaming orientated, but I'm gonna ask the community for some encouragement and help, and that is, there's no doubt about it, I'm a large person. if you've met me in person, or it's sometimes maybe it doesn't come across as well on camera, but I am big. Let's just say that. And that is, it's something that I think a lot of us as tabletop gamers potentially have as an issue and a concern, and it's something that a lot of us feel, maybe a little shameful about. I certainly don't necessarily obviously like talking about it, but I need to drop some weight. And so one of my goals this year is to drop at least 100 pounds. I've done it in the past, and then it's been a hard time. I've put it back on. I mean, I love things like barbecue and mac and cheese and creme brulees, cheeseburgers, those kind of things. But those are not conducive to that weight loss. I do need to lose some weight. I've actually dropped a few pounds at the tail end of 2023, but for my own health and longevity of being able to do things and be able to hike around and move around and be able to survive conventions like Gen Con and keep up those high levels of energy, I need to drop at least 100 pounds. So that's a big goal. It's more of a personal goal, but I need it to happen, and hopefully I'll on some of these upcoming board games and coffee, I'll let you know where my progress is. But it's a big goal, and it's a goal that I think I can achieve. And if you guys out there encourage me a little bit and help me out, that'll be great. I appreciate it.
So, yes. Wow. On that serious note.
Yeah, that was a bombshell. Boop, mic drop.
My last of my 5 personal resolutions for this year is to do a 10 by 10. Now, I've been hesitant to do a 10 by 10 because I don't have, I can play a game.
There be a number of legacy games on that 10 by 10.
I can play a game 10 times, sure, but we have so many games that I love learning new games and playing new games. So I decided that I'm going to do a 10 by 10, but it's going to be, I'm going to do 10 solo games. It doesn't have to be the same game every time, but it's going to be 10 solo games, 10 miniature games. I was not great about playing my miniature games this last year for various reasons, so I'm going to, try and get 10 of those in. 10 games that are prototypes, 10 games that are not necessarily social deduction, but a social game. Like where you are, the social aspect is a big part of it.
So games like Mysteria might qualify, right?
Yeah, that might qualify. That may be more of a cooperative game. I'd have to decide where it needed to fall. So I'm still working on what my list of 10 is, and how I'm going to track it, because I'm not going to get one of those fun little wooden meeple boards and move it around. I don't need something that's going to be a permanent thing, because I don't know that I'm going to keep doing this year after year, but sure, just to kind of keep myself as a well-rounded gamer.
No, that makes sense.
I think what it is I just want to keep making sure that I'm not sticking to one type of game and keeping myself focused on one type of game, because there's so many out there and so many great ones out there. So,
well, when you mentioned doing a 10 by 10, like there's a little part of me that inside of me, like as a content creator, goes, cringe. Like, yeah, I like the idea of doing a 10 by 10 because the goal is that you're going to focus on playing 10 games really well. But as a content creator, that means we have to play a lot of different games as publishers release new games, as we need to continue to try out and talk about some of those newer hot games, because that's an important part of what I think the audience wants to hear about on the channel. Well, so
it's also what I want to do.
But doing like a 10 by 10, like what you're talking about, is really interesting because it lets you focus in, okay, I'm going to definitely play like 10 of this style of game, 10 of this style of game, but that doesn't have to shoehorn you into like a specific game, which I think is an important thing to be able to say, like, hey, I'm going to definitely have 100 plays here when I'm done, but it's going to be 100 plays and 100 games that are going to fit different styles, not necessarily the same game.
Yeah, and let's say solo game. Let's say I really like one version of Final Girl, one scenario, and I may play that 5 times. That may be 5 of my 10 solo games.
Yeah, well,
but it also could be several different games.
I will say we definitely need to play some Final Girl, like you and I both.
Well, you have to
As
play it
solo
by
games.
yourself, and then I have to play it by myself. And I
Yes.
have been here
That's
and
good.
there, so.
All right.
And if you didn't hear, Orla also agrees that
Yep.
she would like that we should play solo games by ourselves.
Yep. There's also a 2-player game that Orla really wants us to play a lot, and I'm sure we will hit that in our 10x10.
I don't know if that's going to be a 10 by 10.
Throw the
That'll
ball.
be done today.
Orla loves throw the ball.
Yes, fetch. So
All right.
anyway, that actually wraps up my list. I kept myself to 5
Yep.
resolutions because I know some of yours will require my assistance.
Well, some of yours I think will require my assistance as well. So
Really? I guess yes, maybe one of them.
so
But I could do it independent if I really was motivated.
yeah. So anyways, that's our resolutions, both for the channel and as well as for ourselves. Let us know what your resolutions are in the comments below. We really love hearing that, and we love interacting with you and share the journey and keep us in touch with how well you're doing on those goals. We really do feel like they're all achievable, and it's important to set achievable resolutions when you go into the new year. Don't try to set a resolution where you're hey, I'm gonna be a millionaire at the end of the year, because you're not gonna unless your situation's like that, you're probably not going to be successful.
Yes, or like, hey, I have no woodworking skills or tools, but yet I'm going to build a magnificent gaming table.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be awesome if you could do that, but...
Yeah, be more realistic, like, hey, I'm going to get some tools and learn some techniques, right? That's the better part of that journey. Hey, I'm not going to be a brilliant miniature painter, but I am going to paint 5 figures this year. I'm going to learn how to paint. So far more achievable goals.
So that was my goal last year, and
you're doing pretty good.
I have a third of a miniature painted.
Yeah. I mean, and it's looking really good. Like your third of a miniature looks as good as some people's final models are, like final finished painted models are. So you're doing good. All right, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up today's show. And thank you so much for watching. And hopefully we'll all accomplish our resolutions and have a very successful 2024.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hey there, it's Conesy. Thank you so much for watching. We put out videos weekly here at WiscoDice. Check out our channel for more great videos, and don't forget to subscribe. We also have more great content on our website at WiscoDice.com. Of course, we do this all for you, the viewers. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.